trade unions, particularly in the construction industry. In most cases, the people denied employment by virtue of the blacklist did nothing more than raise their concerns over health and safety and working conditions, and what is one of our most hazardous industries. The procurement bill represents a challenge and an opportunity for the Scottish Government to enact positive change. Procurement reform isn't just about a focus on moving away from lowest price tender to quality and sustainability. It's about recognising and respecting employment rights and conditions, enshrining such standards in the culture of public procurement and in the mindset of businesses who tender for public contracts. And in this context, we mean pay, we mean pensions, and we mean respecting the rights of trade unions to democratically organise and represent without restrictions, respect for trade union members and trade union freedoms. It's also an opportunity to ensure that there is no place for unethical practices such as blacklisting within the organisations that profit from public procurement. Unite has been working closely with Neil Findlay MSP and his call for the establishment of an independent public inquiry into blacklisting in Scotland, and for the release of any information the Scottish Government may hold on the companies actively suppressing people's right to work. We believe it's unacceptable for the Scottish Government to play the waiting game, saying they will follow developments at Westminster closely, and in the words of Enterprise Minister Fergus Ewing, saying that allegations can't be bandied around, so we must proceed with caution. Shameful. Conference, we can't play the waiting game. The SNP government can act and should act now. We can't play the waiting game, not when we know that the Scottish Government ministers have admitted firms involved in the Force Replacement Crossing Consortium were identified by the Information Commissioner Office as subscribers to the Consulting Association. Not when we know that contractors on the London Crossrail Consortium, where 28 workers were sacked for their trade unionism, and 18 of the known 37 organisations in the Consulting Association have interests in the Crossrail Consortium and profit significantly from the delivery of public services at the Scottish local authorities. And not when we know that the firms who established and funded the Consulting Association blacklist continue to avoid responsibility for their actions. No remorse, business as usual, disgusting. So this week, we start increasing our demands. Unite, along with UCAT and GMB, will reinforce Neil Findlay's efforts by our launch of a public petition, calling on the Scottish Government to use its powers to convene a full, independent public inquiry into the effects and extent of blacklisting in Scotland. And we call on the Scottish Government to use the Procurement Reform Bill to ensure that those employers who continue to practice blacklisting are banned from tendering from future public contracts. We build on the outstanding work of our comrades across the Blacklisting Support Group, turning up the heat on governments and employers UK-wide to end the insidious culture of blacklisting once and for all. Conference, I move.